Afternoon, Ali Hash. Good afternoon. How's it going? Slurf holding up. Yes, exactly. Well spotted. You noticed that, huh? So that's interesting, isn't it? Interesting development. Come up. Long slurf. I'm longing. I have been longing. Actually, I'm in a long on Slurf and Bitcoin at the moment, and ordinals. I'm in three longs at the moment. Pretty much break even. But I have a feeling that we could be at a turning point in the price action. So I'm going to analyze that. Okay. The problem with Slurf is that the momentum is heavily to the downside. That's the biggest problem with Slurf right now. I don't think it's a problem in the sense that it can't be rectified. It can be rectified, but it just requires some really crazy bullish pump to get out of this mess that Slurf is in. So Slurf is in a mess, and fundamentally the momentum has been strongly to the downside. And so in all of this overall range that we're looking at, we're talking about a large amount of trapped volume, trapped liquidity, people who have longed and haven't taken profit and are now negative underwater, negative equity. And so it doesn't really matter where they longed, but if you look at the overall price range, you can see that from these highs here, we're down about 74%. So naturally, a lot of people will be thinking about breaking even if and when the price comes back up. Not really many people are looking to catch the absolute low, and mainly because people don't know when the low is coming in. So I have a harmonic on Slurf in play at the moment, which is why I'm interested in the price action. Let me have a look at it. Where is it? So this harmonics can play out in various ways. And sometimes they can not play out at all. Okay, so it's kind of very speculative, but if it works, it works really well. I'm potentially looking at two ideas concurrently. One is just a kind of a straightforward bat, and the other one is a butterfly. So the difference between the bat and the butterfly in this example is that the C here is here the D for the bat is below the B, higher than the X, and in this situation the D is lower than the X. Yeah, so that's the difference between these two harmonics. Otherwise they're both bullish harmonics. I think they're more bullish if they're at the highs, not in the lows. I don't really like these harmonics in the lows because I feel that wherever we put in a pivot, we can only really go a set distance before the momentum pulls the price back down. So in this example, I would be looking at a 50% target at about 32 cents. That being said, Ali Hash has been telling me that Slurf is likely to be listed on OKX imminently and Binance. So highly speculative, but obviously if that was to happen, that would be a big development in the price action. Binance and OKX would be huge, and so that could shift things above and beyond what we expect, and especially if the context is Bitcoin bottoming out as well. So it looks pretty miserable, huh? The price action, it looks pretty ugly for the bulls, doesn't it? look at these last 2 week candles. We have pretty much disastrous weekly candles, haven't we? 2 disastrous weekly candles. But that being said, just put it in context. What's happening on the higher time frame? Look what's happening. Down, up, down. That's all that's happening. Yeah, so even though it looks bearish, all that's happening is we've had a down, up, down corrective move from the launch. That is the context of what's happening. Now, it doesn't dispel my worries about trap liquidity and downward momentum, but potentially that's all we experienced. Some kind of initial corrective start. And the key here is whether we can bottom out and find support or not. Yeah. So you can almost dispel all the news and all the rumors and just focus in on the charts. Yeah. And so naturally the next question is going to be, do we find support? Okay. Is this the place to find support? Is this the turning point? It's a bit of a coin flip right now with Slurf, but it is a good place to be wrong. And what I mean by that is that this is a good place to be wrong because you have a very small invalidation for longing and you have quite a large amount of risk to reward potential if the price expands, retraces back to the upside. Yeah. So you've got relatively small invalidation and quite a large ROI for the risk involved in the trade here. And so naturally at the lows, this is kind of where you're looking to long. You're not looking to short here. I think it'd be a mistake if anyone was looking to short. Even if it went down, who cares? Yeah, you wouldn't short here. Even if the price was to go down here, you would never short here. What you'd be looking for in a short in this circumstance, if you're thinking about shorting, is probably to lose the value area low and some kind of back test. At least then you have an invalidation. Yeah. So if you're really thinking about shorting, it so happens that we're coming back into the value area low now. So exactly. So this is the kind of area where if you really wanted to short, you'd have a really tight invalidation because your expectation here would be that the value area low would now flip to a resistance level for continuation. So if you're going to short, that's the only way to do it. And then you have to have a really tight invalidation as well. Okay. But in these lows, when you're looking at an overall range, when you're at the lows of the range, you see we're in the lows of the range. We're at the lows of the volume range and the lows of the price range, with the bottom of the price being here. You'd be looking to long. You wouldn't be looking to short. Or no trade. No trade or long. You wouldn't be looking to short there. Right, so let me just update the volume levels from the previous week. Apologies I wasn't on yesterday. Sometimes we have to live life and sometimes you just have to take a break on Sunday weekend. Sorry, I like to stream for long on the weekend, but sometimes it's just life takes over. So what you can see now clearly is quite an interesting development. You see now I've pulled the volume profile and I've had to rearrange or readjust these levels. And you can see if I just go back, you can see that the point of control, the range point of control is slightly lower. The value area high is slightly lower. And that actually, what's interesting is the value area low is now underneath this slightly. So when you zoom in locally onto that price action, you can see that actually, rather than just trying to get back into the value area low, it looks like we are in the value area low. See that? That's why you have to update your levels. So I think for all intents purposes, this could be a good place to long. Yeah, could be a good place to long. Why? Because these are the original lows. You had a little kind of swing failure pump right back to the lows, and now we're kind of getting back above the lows. So for all intents purposes, this could be quite a good place to long, and this could be the right place. It's basically what I'm saying. This could be the right place. All right. So we have our volume levels. Let's have a look at the weekly candle again. Miserable for the bulls, very miserable weekly candle. But like I said, it doesn't have to be miserable. If you view it differently, it could just be a corrective ABC here. So from launch, it could just be a corrective ABC. Yeah, if you think of it differently, you might actually, okay, there was no impulse, but if you consider the launch as the impulsive move, we could be looking at a higher time frame corrective move here. That's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. And if I measure it as well, maybe we can get some kind of balance. Wait, how did I do that? Not really. It's quite subjective how you measure these things. Stick to that one. I mean, there's potential. It's just tricky because which pivot do you use? If you go from this pivot to this pivot to this pivot, then you're coming back to the 618. Obviously, that's not how it played out. It came all the way down to here. So it's a tricky one. Let me get my levels in as well. So you have your levels in. AliHash is saying in the update that 12K Solana remaining out of the 55K Solana, 4,000 NFTs held in treasury, tier 1 listing imminent, DAO announced, which will mean NFT holders will have a vote for the future proposals. Well, I have an NFT, so I guess I'm part of the DAO. I don't have any token, but I have an NFT. So let's just update these levels. That's the weekly level was moved up to that level there. See that? This weekly level here that we've come through. I would expect us to backtest that eventually in the future. I'm going to just change that to and call it washed, which means it's been traded through, so I know that there's no liquidity there. Looking at the monthly time frame, you can see that we are potentially creating a new monthly level here. If this month remains red, which I expect it to be, that will be a brand new liquidity level. You have your weekly levels, and then let's go to our daily levels. Let's have a look and see if there's any change. See, that one was traded through. There was no reaction. But now we have a brand new liquidity level there. That's a daily level. Right above that monthly level. This is the washed weekly that I was talking about. There was no back test there. There was a daily level there as well. Why was there a daily level there? Oh, it's from that previous one. Okay. Just delete that. I can grip it. I don't really can. These daily levels have now been traded through. You see that they're, at the moment, they're reacting as resistance. See that? These previous daily levels, we've traded through them and we've come back to back test them as resistance. Okay. Just get rid of that one. Don't get that one. And then obviously we have a fresh daily level. I'll just use this fresh one actually here. And then I'll just get rid of these. Don't need them anymore. And what we have is this other one here, which has been, we've now traded through it already. So it's relevant because we've hit it for the first time today, but it's less relevant because we've traded through it and the liquidity's gone. But we had a really nice reaction from the Bybit value area low and this daily level down here, which I've renamed to washed. It's a really good reaction. Look at that. On the local time frame, we have a swing failure with increasing volume. Yeah, so we have a really nice reaction here. That's quite bullish. That's a really bullish reaction at the lows here. It tells me something. It tells me that there is interest in SLEV. It's not dead. You see now we're back above the golden pocket as well. We've come into the golden pocket. We've back tested this daily level, and now we're pushing up. So we're getting a really nice bullish reaction from this area, and potentially this could be a reverse or a change. We have to see what will happen next. But also the other thing to bear in mind is that we've put in a lower high, lower low, and we've taken out the high now. So we are potentially changing. We've changed market structure here, haven't we? Higher high, high low, higher high. So you see this. This was the lower high. This was the lower low. This was the higher high, higher low, higher high. So even on the 5-minute time frame, we've changed market structure confirmation, confirmed to bullish on SLURF. So it's starting to look quite strong here at these levels. It's just something to bear in mind, right? Getting a really nice bullish reaction there. And I think Ali Hash called it out. What was interesting about SLURF, which I've talked about in the past, and obviously it's also quite subjective, but you can, oh, look at that. You can see, that's interesting. Oh, look at that. It's a reaction. Look what happened earlier on today. Look how BTC is dropping here. Look, BTC on the right. See how BTC is dropping here. And you see how SLURF is actually going up. You see that? So you've got bullish divergence here because you've got SLURF going up and BTC kind of going down. You see that? That's the clue. Where SLURF is resilient, it's holding, it's showing strength, and actually where BTC seemingly looks weak, that's kind of telling you that actually BTC isn't weak. And what's happening is that because people know that BTC isn't weak, BTC is coming to major support, that now what's happening is that people aren't fading out on their altcoins, especially the ones that have oversold like SLURF. And while BTC goes down, they're using that as an opportunity to buy the dip on their altcoins. And that's kind of what seems to be happening right now with SLURF. So, I mean, we've pulled back a lot in the last couple of weeks. And a lot of people have lost a lot of confidence in SLURF for different reasons. But at the end of the day, who cares? All that matters is what the charts are telling us. That's really all that matters. Yeah, the charts don't lie. They kind of reflect everything that needs to be reflected in this tokens, in the project's happenings. Yeah, when you see weakness, it usually reflects some kind of underlying weakness. And then when you start seeing resilience, and when you start seeing the bounce, when you start seeing a little bit of strength, it usually reflects some kind of underlying strength. And that's kind of what we're seeing now. We're seeing a little bit of reaction at the right place at the right time. And potentially this is, the news is being front run here. So it's almost like a buy the rumor event that's happening here. So I've still got this harmonic in play. I don't really have anything else to say. There's no Elliott waves in play. Yeah, we've invalidated them all. I did say in the past potentially this was a one. Didn't I? And then when we had this kind of 5-wave move here, I said, well, that invalidates that wave one. Technically, this wave one here is still valid, technically, and this is just a nothing. And the reason why is because we haven't actually taken out the low here. And so we haven't actually, technically, we haven't invalidated that. I'm still not fond of that because I don't like how this mid-range price action played out. But I mean, potentially it could be correct. It could be a wave. How did I draw it? Let me have a look. I might have deleted it because I wasn't interested in it. After we had our last bullish impulsive moves, I might have lost interest in that initial idea which I had, which was some kind of wave, 5-wave move in the first instance. Effectively, what I was suggesting was potentially some kind of move here, the one, some kind of like that. That's like your 5 waves. I'm just drawing squiggles, but basically what I'm saying is something like that. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Where does this end? It's really tricky. It's really tricky how to map this out. I'm just imagining that because this was the initial impulse, it was bigger and then smaller and then smaller. So you have a big 1, a smaller 3, and then a tiny 5. That's correct. And then as long as the 4 doesn't come underneath the 1, that's correct too. So I was initially contemplating that as some kind of wave 1. I changed my idea because I saw that there was kind of like a 5 wave move here. Where did it start exactly? It was here. Was it 1, 2, 3? Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It was like that, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I saw that, I changed my idea because I thought to myself, if this was the wave 3, it wouldn't work because it would have to go up and you'd have to have the 4 and then have to come back down here to test. So, and then obviously once we invalidated this 5 wave move by making a low here, this whole thing totally invalidates as an Elliott wave move, an impulsive move. And it kind of brings me back to this original move. And the only reason I'm still interested in this is because we haven't taken out the low yet. It's the only reason. Okay. So that's the only reason I'm still interested in this. You see here, we've put in, at the moment, we're putting in a higher low. Okay. So that keeps me interested because it doesn't invalidate this impulsive price action here. Okay. And all that's happened is we've retraced all the way down, right down to the bottom here to potentially confirm a higher low. Yeah. Basically, the idea is that in all of this impulsive move up to here, this whole thing now is our correction. And after all of this volume, we're just putting in a higher low here, which is bullish. It's not bearish, it's bullish. It's bullish because volume has come in, volume has left, and we end up with a higher low. It's only by a few pips, but that doesn't matter. It just means that potentially this is the floor. This level down here is the floor. It's where the price is balanced. That gives me a little bit of confidence. Ali Hash is reminding us that there is peak FUD in the Slav community of what happened last week. Memchan, NFT launch and overall market downturn. I know what is happening as I have my ears to the ground. Golden opportunity I've been adding to my spot position. Yep. So I would say that this is a really good place to buy. Just be aware. Just be very aware that we can't lose this value area low to remain bullish. Now that we've lost it, reclaimed it, or reclaiming it, we're in the process of reclaiming it. Let's not lose it again. Yeah, and I think that's really important to bear in mind. If suddenly you start losing it and then finding resistance again, it's going to look weak. Yeah, if you lose it, you reclaim it, lose it twice, maybe reclaim it for the second time. In this context, that's fine. You don't want to now lose it again. Yeah, because that wouldn't be strong, would it? And so the idea is that we're chasing strength and we're running far away from weakness. So if you start seeing strength, you're willing to, that's kind of you'll add to your positions because the market is strong. And then if you start seeing weakness, you're going to scale back or maybe even exit your position. The reason why this is a really important area is because you hold here and we're at the Bybit value area low. If we hold here as support, like literally if we hold here as support, guess what happens? The price starts to go back up. And its first real target is the range point of control. Yeah, that's really what will happen because we're in a range. If we hold support at the value area low, we're going to head right back up and it will we'll start going back to these high volume nodes, back to the point of control. And if we can flip one of these high volume nodes into support, maybe even flip the point of control back down to one of these high volume nodes, then you could see us rotating right back up to the value area high of this volume range. And that's really perfectly feasible if we hold support here. Okay, perfectly feasible. That would be 100% increase in value just to get back to the top of the range. Okay, now people will start getting bullish as the price goes higher and higher, but now is the place to be bullish because you're getting your best ROI on your trade idea, on the trade idea. So just hypothetically, let's just imagine that Friday's low was the low, and we've just come back to backtest some kind of golden pocket here, which is probably the case, isn't it? Yeah, you see we're back above the golden pocket. Your ROI here is it's a very easy trade, roughly from where a good entry here, roughly. You'd have to tone it down onto the lower time frame, but let's just say roughly here, and to trade that right back up to the point of control, the range point of control, you're looking at a risk 1 and a reward of 7.86 thereabouts, just with invalidation underneath this low, assuming that we're putting in a higher low here. That's kind of what that's the assumption that I'm making, and no one really can predict the future. No one really knows. Okay, so I can't tell you. I'm in a long now. Yeah, that's it. I'm in a long, and this is a good place to long. Basically, it's really that simple. So yeah, so I'm tracking these potential 2 harmonics. Now, in terms of timing, that's quite interesting for me as well, time, because I use that quite a lot. Again, which pivot do you use here? So I think in this case I would go to a higher time frame. And which pivot do you use? You use this one here or this one here? It's quite subjective, isn't it? This is the lower pivot, so I'm using that one. That's the higher one. Let me just get rid of that and get wave impulse. Put in there. And this takes us to the higher one there. And so when you're adding in time to the analysis, it's not obvious, but here it looks like the C came into the 2.618. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So effectively from here to here, this move here is a 2.618 of this down move here. Doesn't really help. So in this case, probably not helpful at all, but maybe from here to here to here could be more helpful. And you see here we put in this pivot roughly on the 618 here. And you have to bear in mind that these fib times, they're areas. They're more like areas. They're not like exact moments of time. So it's kind of like, this is the area that I'm looking for a bottom to be put in. So actually it came in a little bit earlier, but that's how fib time works. I wonder if I move this pivot to here, if it makes any difference. Not really. Okay. So I also said in my stream 2 days ago when I was looking at these harmonics that what is that? Let's bring it back. That it is possible, and so I just want to kind of clarify the possibilities here. Where is it? This one here. So let me just mark on, make sure these pivots are in the same place, so they're the same. 2 days ago, I did say that we could be forming a bat, a bullish bat, where the D is in between the B and the X. We could go up, and we could still come back down to form a butterfly, yeah, by the end of the week. Yeah, so you could start off with a bat, but end up with a butterfly. And effectively, the harmonics that let me just pull it up so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So no one really knows what's going to happen. It's quite speculative. This is the bat and this is the butterfly. You see that? So the point D is the only difference in these two ideas. And here you can see you could have a bat if we hold the pivot here, we hold the low here, or if we lose the value area low here and this kind of wash daily level, which we're holding at the moment as support. If we lose that, then by the end of the week, we could actually be going further down, take out this pivot here and form a butterfly. I'm not fond of a butterfly. I don't want to make a lower low. I don't actually even now want to take out this low, to be honest. Now that we've held a higher low here, there's no reason why I want it to be taken out if I'm in a long or if I'm bullish here. Yeah. Going down, putting in a lower low, making a new all-time low in this context is very bearish, and you'll get a bounce, but potentially you could get a bounce just the back test for continuation. You have to be careful of that. Whereas I prefer it if we just hold here as support within the value area after we've had a reaction and we've held a higher low here. So actually, even though there's potentially another harmonic in play, if we end up lower by the end of this weekend, I hate it. I don't like it. Yeah, I might long, but the only long here would be a swing failure of this pivot. Yeah, you wouldn't just catch a falling knife hoping that this harmonic plays out, because you just don't know. Like, you're in price discovery to the downside. This could just keep on going down. Why would you catch a falling knife? Yeah, what you'd be looking for is an entry as a swing failure of this pivot as the price came up. But I'm not fond of this butterfly in this context. I think a bat here would be much more preferable, yeah, for me, because higher low back into the value area. Let's form some kind of bottom. Hopefully let's form a bottoming pattern here. We've got a neckline that we have to breach, yeah, but if the price can breach that neckline, it's back in. It's like a failed auction of these lows, and that's going to look really bullish, isn't it? Failed auction of these lows. This whole thing becomes deviation from these lows, and maybe if we can flip these lows back into support, which has this daily level, then actually you'll start seeing the price go up quite quickly. The reason why it will go up quite quickly is because the price came down quite quickly. There's a little bit of a gap in the way the price moved right up to this area here, to somewhere between 29 and 32. Yeah, so if we can get back above this neckline, above these lows, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of head up there really quickly. Once that starts to happen, guess what happens? Everyone starts to get really bullish, starts to FOMO back in, yeah, and start to buy. In this context, though, that would be your target. Yeah? And so if that was the high to the low here, your target for a bullish price reaction here would be, if we can get past this neckline, that's really important, would be the 50% mark. You know, that would be like your target, which would be somewhere around 31 cents. You'd want to take the price up, and then we'll have to see what happens, right? So right now I'm feeling quite bullish on this, and obviously everything can change if we start losing levels. And we had a really nice bullish reaction here, so I'm not in that mindset now. Obviously New York Open can change things, so we just got to keep an eye on that. That's going to happen very soon. Yeah, really nice bullish reaction here on Slurf. Okay, if this doesn't play out bullish, then I'll be looking for lower by the end of the weekend. And obviously my first clue would be losing this value area low and this kind of wash daily level. So that's kind of where I'm at with Slurf. I'm not bullish or bearish. I just trade the charts. I see the charts. If they're bullish, I'll buy. If they're bearish, I'll sell. It's not a big deal. Yeah. If I see that there's signs of bullishness, I'll start buying. If I see that there's signs of weakness, I'll have tight invalidations and I'll start selling. Really that simple. Yeah, I'm not really fussed about the fundamentals. But as Ali Hash said, maybe this resilience that we're seeing now has got something to do with the fundamentals. Yeah. All right, so that's kind of Slurf. The trade idea is on this bat. If anyone wants to participate in this trade plan, technically your invalidation is that pivot low, and you're trying to take it up to the 50% mark, which is also a monthly level and a daily level. That's quite strong resistance. With this kind of wide invalidation, you're looking at a risk 1 to 3 reward. Yeah, so quite a good reward on the wide invalidation. And based on this idea, you could easily tighten the invalidation if you want to, but the safe one is this absolute low here. Okay, you could tighten it. You could tighten it all the way to somewhere here, probably just underneath these levels. All right, so that's kind of where I'm at with Slurf. And any questions or anything, please let me know in comments or afterwards on Twitter, and I'm happy to have a look at it. I haven't really gone into more depth here, yeah, because it's quite simple, isn't it? We're at the range low. I'm seeing a bullish harmonic, and I'm trading that. I'm trying to trade that all the way up to the 50% mark and then see what happens after that. All right, that's Slurf. I said on Saturday that TRVL, I was seeing a bullish price action, and so I posted that in my YouTube. Haven't really seen much change since Saturday on TRVL. Look, TRVL so showing some strength. The reason why I said that is because on TRVL, what was it? When was Saturday? There it is. I saw some volume of market buying. You see that? Market buying, market buying. Haven't seen that in a while at the lows where you just get market buying. It's quite synonymous of people just saying, well, this is a good price. I just want to fill my bags now. Yeah, that's the kind of price action we're experiencing now at in this area of interest. It's people now saying, we're at a good price. I'm not really fussed. I'm not really worried if I get it at 3.7 cents or 4.2 cents. Like in whoever's buying at market here, they're not really worried about the price anymore, because in their minds this is a good price. Yeah, and they're happy to just market buy, because in their mind they're thinking higher time frame, and they're thinking, I just want to get X amount of TRVL tokens ASAP. Okay, it doesn't help us because it doesn't absorb the selling. Yeah, so if people are looking to market sell, that kind of price action doesn't help at all. But what it does do is it makes it more illiquid if and when in the future the price starts to rally to the upside. Yeah, so when you market buy, what you're doing is you're clearing the order books above the price action. Yeah, and so if there are limit orders in this range, when someone market buys, they clear the order books. There's no more orders. So whoever places the orders gets the orders filled. And then the next time the price goes up, it goes up more with less volume, more easily. Yeah, because the initial order book has been cleared, and therefore the second or third time it goes up, it just goes up. Yeah, it slips to the upside. So it's not, I mean, it's not terrible to have that, to experience that kind of price action, because in the future when the price does move, it will move much more easily. But the real interesting observation is that we're at a price now where people are willing to just market buy. I think that's interesting. We haven't really had that kind of experience for a while, and this is clearly the first time that we're experiencing that kind of behavior, and I think that's quite interesting. I'm just updating my volume levels as well while I chat, just to make sure they're the same, and there they are. As you can also see in this local range from this low here, the all-time low through till now, this is the bull market volume. So I'm imagining the bull market started here It probably didn't, but I'm saying it started here. And from here to here, I've drawn this volume profile. So this gives you the idea of where the volume has come in since October, since the all-time low. And you can see now that we're at the value area low of this volume profile from October to current time. Yeah. So it's in the context of the volume, it's a good place to buy. Is that correct? No, I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong? My bad. It's the overall volume, not the bull market volume. You see here, this is the overall volume. So the overall volume of the last multiple years, we're at the value area low now. Yeah. We kind of lost it. We reclaimed it. We lost it. We reclaimed it. We lost it. See that? We're reclaiming it. So we're definitely finding support here. We're getting a bullish reaction. It's happening over multiple occasions. It's not just one person, potentially. It's multiple people or multiple actions. And we're getting some kind of bullish support. The bulls are showing up here. That's basically what I'm saying. It's a different kind of reaction. It's not like someone's placing a limit order and just sucking up all the selling now. Now it's actually people going, this is a good place to buy. This is the right price to buy. This is the right time to buy. I'm just going to buy. I don't care about whether I can catch it at the absolute 3.6, whatever, or whether it's 19 or 20% higher at 4.3, because they're just filling their bags. It's the right time, the right place, potentially the right moment, because maybe the market, the rest of the market is bottoming out too. And now we're getting a little bit of bullishness here. All right. We're at the golden pocket. We haven't lost it really. We've kind of come into it. There was a little bit of a loss. We're back into it. Kind of back into it. And what we need to see now is just get back above it and start going up. That's really what we want to see, isn't it? And that could take a few days or maybe by the beginning of next month. All right. So I'm quite positive about the price action. Look, we've had disastrous price action. Last week, we've had the most volume in a single week. And you see how the price has only managed to just hold the bottom of the golden pocket here. Hasn't really been able to get through it. We've had a lot of selling, a lot of buying, increasing in volume, and the price is stuck. Yeah. So while that looks bearish because of the increase in volume, because the price has barely moved, it's barely moved from open to close, 3% increasing. It's the most volume we've had on Bybit in a single week. The volume in that week period has been 36 million TRVL, and the price has only dropped for 3 or 4%. Yeah. So of course we need buying to take the price back up, but at the very least we can see here that the selling is being halted. It's kind of stopping or stopped or potentially reversing here. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me. It was the right place. If you look at it, you see there's a kind of an SR flip going on. We were at this area for multiple weeks. Can we go up or do we range? You know, we have to see what happens to Bitcoin. Do we go lower? I don't know. I don't know if we go lower. I think according to the volume profile, this is a good place for the price to find support. If we do lose this area, then I think we're heading to 3.1. And the reason why is because that's the point of control on the other exchanges. If I was to go to the other exchanges and just have a look at the volume profile, you can see that it's still a little bit lower. So the volume at the moment is being coming into Bybit, and the other exchanges are just kind of not really doing much. Let's see what happens. Okay. Nothing's really changed from my last video. We just have to put in a higher low somewhere here, somewhere above the all-time low. That's really all that needs to happen. Now that we've lost our previous bullish ideas, which were some kind of Wyckoff from accumulation, some kind of Adam and Eve pattern, we've lost those ideas. Now all I really concerned about is the price to find support and to put in a higher low somewhere. So this is the low here. We just want to put in a higher low, and then once you confirm a higher low, however it plays out. So that's the golden pocket. In this context, if people want confirmation, then we just need to get back above it and back test it. Yeah. But this is we are finding support off the lower part of this area right now. You can see with the wicks, the price is being held, and obviously in the context of KuCoin, the point of control is a little bit low. So there's always possibility that we go down just a little bit lower, but because Bybit is controlling the price action right now, then maybe we don't go low. I can't tell. All right, this is, in terms of risk to reward ratio, this is the right place. Is it the right time? I can't tell. It looks quite bearish in the monthly time frame. Look at those monthly candles. Red, potentially another red. We've come back into this red monthly candle here, trying to find liquidity. We have to see where the price holds, you know, and wherever you get a higher low here, if the price starts moving up next month or next 3 months, then you're looking at an extremely bullish pattern, bottoming pattern here. Some kind of rounding bottom here. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now, right? Or inverse head and shoulders, doesn't really matter. But effectively, the difference is that with an inverse head and shoulders, usually you put in a higher high there to change market structure. With a rounding bottom, you don't necessarily need to do that. You have higher highs, higher lows. In effect, you've got some kind of triangle, and if we can hold here, it'll be quite a bullish triangle, because you've got it's like a leaning upwards by a triangle. Yeah, still needs a break to the upside. Okay, that's TRVL. What time is it now? It's 1:28 UK time. In my American market's about to open right now. So I'm in 3 longs at the moment. I'm in Slurf, I'm in BTC, I'm in Ordinals. They're all in profit, actually. Let's have a look at Bitcoiner. Definitely don't fade out from TRVL. I don't know what people's sentiment is. I've been away for a little bit, so I haven't really kind of followed what's going on the Twitter or the Telegram. I suppose good things. There's been a lot of like third-party postings. Like, look here, look at this. MK Vic, you've been seeing Dtravel DAO lately on my TL. You're probably wondering how it works, right? It's simple. It's quite good, huh? The only thing that he hasn't done, if he watches my videos, I'm going to correct him now. Put your affiliate link here, and at least you can also earn rewards when hosts join up using your link. If you don't have one, I'll give you my one, so at least I can benefit. So we're getting seen a lot of third-party posts now. Look at this. Dtravel, Travala coming soon. See that? Let's go to, look at this. A lot of people are posting on other people's Twitters. Look, let me go to the latest here. This guy's posting a lot. Look at that. That's quite a lot of engagement. 25 retweets, 63 likes. It's just people, just random people promoting Dtravel. It's quite good to see. And then obviously on the Telegram, not much activity apart from new booking site. haven't seen that crazy amount of activity, but anyway, I think it's like the calm before the storm. Yeah, so let's see what happens. Let's see how this plays out. Obviously, I'm a little bit hesitant with the price action, just simply because I had imagined something completely different on the higher time frame, and so but maybe this is what's going to happen. Maybe we do find support. I don't want to like say we're going down when actually this might be the right place for the price to find support. Yeah. In the same way that I was saying up earlier on and it didn't go up, I don't want to say down now and it doesn't go down. So I think this is a good area for the price to find support, and what we're just looking for now are signs of strength. Yeah, I do see signs of strength. I see some market buying. I can see some interest. I can see this lower support level holding, and naturally I just want to see now a little bit of follow through, a little bit of continuation. Okay. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, it's a tricky one. I'm in a long on Bitcoin, so I'm not bearish per se. I'm not like it's dropped, but all that's happened now is the price has dropped into my area of interest. Yesterday I posted on Twitter an idea that I had, which didn't play out. I took a loss on that. I was invalidated. It's normal. Okay. And I was looking at potentially a 3 drives pattern. Could have worked, but it didn't. And I posted that, so I just want to say it didn't work out. That's kind of the idea that I was looking at. 1, 2, 3, and so I was trying to take it back up to the golden pocket of the 3 drives. So let me just pull that up now. I just want to show you what I was imagining, because sometimes these can be really good. And so if you do see these patterns, then sometimes they can be really good trades. This is BTC. Basically from this pivot here, effectively I was going like, what was it? 1, 2, 3. That's kind of what I was imagining. And the way to know is as it comes back to the golden pocket, you see, comes back to the golden pocket, and this one comes back to the golden pocket. You see that? So each time on the first move it came back to the golden pocket, the second move it came back to the golden pocket. 1, 2. There should be a third one. Where's the third one? It must be here. Little bit of a fake out there, didn't make a higher high, and actually it came back to the golden pocket. 1, 2, 3. That's 4, isn't it? So actually no, probably from here. 1, 2, 3. So here I was in a long, and my target was the golden pocket of the move from where it started to the low. So I really was looking to take it from all the way up to there. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. Just came back into these kind of this green candle here. This green candle held the price here. Couldn't get above this green candle, and the price just dumped basically from this yesterday afternoon. It just went down and down and down. Is it something I'm doing? Yeah, yesterday. So what's happening now with the price? Well, I've got a long trade plan here, haven't I? So that's the thing that I was kind of that I had on my mind. Yeah. That's your 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your correction. A, B, C. Potentially we're at the C now. Potentially, look, A, B, C. Potentially we're at the C now. Okay. So If that is a 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially this is the correction. We're at the place of interest where you could find support for the correction to be over in this 5 wave move. It kind of changes everything because it means the correction actually, this correction was slightly different to what I imagined. It doesn't really matter, but effectively, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How does this work? I don't know. Let me see. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. I don't know. It's kind of hard to do. Maybe that. Maybe it's this. 1, 2, 3. Um, 1, 2, 3. And then we had our first 5 waves, which is wave 1, and maybe we're doing another ABC here, which will lead to a wave 3 impulse. It's an idea, you know, it's an idea of what may be happening. It's quite easy because the invalidation is the start point here. So as long as you don't take out the invalidation, then this could be in play. And obviously now is a really good area for the price to find support because let me see, that one's invalidated. Let me get rid of that. Let me just get rid of these. What's this one? Because it could be a 1-to-1 here. And so I had this on Saturday. I had this idea on Saturday. Based on this mid WXY here, or WXY here. And that's how I drew it out yesterday. Let me have a look at that. Not yesterday, it was Saturday. I was hoping for higher. Didn't happen. So actually it's more like it's not right. It's come down quite sharp. And we've kind of front run the 1-to-1 level here. We've had an increase in volume. It's interesting because my SLEV position is heavily in profit and my BTC is at the moment the 0. It's break even. I'm going to redo this actually. Just looking at this, I might redo this. Get rid of these. I think this was right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up to there. I think that was right. That was to there. And so the next part is the tricky one. This is the tricky one. I am wondering if I've done this wrong. So let me just delete it and do it slightly different. Hold on a second. let's have a look at this. It's a little bit subjective. So maybe this is to here. Just get rid of that. Maybe that is actually to here. We have A, B, C. No, don't. Sometimes when you can't really do it, just go to a slightly higher time frame, and then it kind of clears up the candles a little bit. I'm wondering if this is all the way down to here. Doesn't make any difference. So this next wave is quite important actually, because you could potentially complete. It would be like that. And so you kind of need this next one to be really bullish, like that. It's kind of what you want to see. If I've got this right, this is a good place for the price to find support here, somewhere here, because it's completing a C and it's coming to the W of this move. The next one is up, and then the next one is the last down, probably by the end of the month. And in effect, what I'm drawing is this to there, to there, to there, to there. Yeah, a higher time frame, kind of ABC, combination of multiple ABCs. We're right now at a good place for the price to bounce or to find some kind of support. It's not the finale. It's not the finale here. Okay, not yet. And what I think you could be looking at to there, to there. Where is that pivot? There. So we have to see how this plays out, but I mean, potentially depends on how high this can go, because if you can go high, then you can just come back here slightly higher to the 618, or you know, if you're going lower, you can just go lower down here and just take out to this 1-to-1. The 1-to-1 would be this 1-to-1, 1-to-1, or you've got a 618, and for that to play out, this kind of has to go up and kind of come down like that. Yeah, so it depends on what happens next is going to determine where this comes down to the 1-to-1 or to the 618 of this kind of extension of this kind of zigzag. And in terms of timing, starting there to there to there, the 618 would bring us to Tuesday, tomorrow, and then the 1-to-1 would be Saturday. I think Saturday is the most likely time for this to bottom out, Saturday. And so the question I think I have in my mind is, do we go up now until Tuesday and then we still have a drop down, and then you have to see Do we go back to the 1-to-1? That would be perfect based on this zigzag here, 1-to-1, quite symmetrical as well. And this would have to look like that. So you're looking for 3 waves up, ABC up, and then another ABC down. That's what I'm expecting right now based on this count. And obviously I'd like to see it to go up as high as possible by Wednesday, but maybe by Wednesday evening. If we can go up in 3 waves and then come back down by Saturday or Friday evening to complete this zigzag. And then the next question will be, do we impulse? I think, yeah, why not? Why would we not impulse if we completed this idea? All right, so I'm in 3 longs at the moment based on these ideas. I'm in Slurf, I'm in BTC, and I'm in ordinals. My BTC and ordinals are basically break even at the moment. My Slurf, I'm quite well in profit at the moment. So obviously the Slurf is seemingly the most bullish one at the moment. But it's interesting because Slurf is bullish and BTC is still falling a little bit. So that kind of gives me a clue about potentially BTC being strong and Slurf is leading, as I've always been saying in the past. So let's see how this plays out. If people are wondering, is this a good place to long? I would say potentially, yeah. You've got lots of areas of confluence here. And so it's just about the price finding support. You see how we've got a weekly and daily level here. We've crossed it. So it hasn't reacted yet. You see that? We have had a reaction off that level. It's the back test. And look, the price has come down with increasing volume into the monthly level here. It's quite bullish, isn't it? It's quite bullish. And what's interesting about this is that if you go back in time and look at previous price action, just where we've come in to form a low here, it is some kind of swing failure, isn't it? So look at these pivots here. That's the monthly level. This is the absolute low. And let me just take this one as well. These two. It's not a swing failure, it's a higher low. There's a higher low on this pivot. Off this pivot, it's a swing failure. So pick a pivot. On one of them, it's a swing failure. And another one, it's a higher low. That's a swing failure there. See that? So we actually swing failured one of these lesser pivots. Not the absolute low just yet. Okay, but if it's bullish and if there's enough liquidity here, then you don't have to actually take out the low in a bull market. You could just make a higher low. It's possible. So we have to see how that plays out. But this is the right area. Okay, because it's a higher time frame level, I don't expect the price to lose, for us to lose this monthly level just like that. Yeah, and also you can see the weekly level. I don't expect us to just lose that level just like that. So there is possibility that we have some kind of range bound price action here, and then we have to see what happens. Okay, in my mind, I think this is a good place to go up. I don't think it's less likely to go down now, just simply because we've come into previous price action, whereas before the reason why it came down quite quickly, quite fast, was that we were coming down this fast price action. I think we're still correcting, so I think my next kind of expectation is a little bit of a bullish move up to complete some kind of zigzag like that. Right? So let's see how that plays out. All right. Don't really have anything more to say about Bitcoin. A lot of people are bearish because we lost this kind of area here, this kind of SR flip here. So a lot of people are quite bearish. And when you lose a level and you come into a bigger level, then you just have to focus on the level that you're at, and then just see if the price can get back above that level that you've lost. Okay, it might take more than one attempt, but if you do suddenly see the price find support back above this neckline here, these lows here in the future. Now it may not get past in one go. If we do go up, find resistance and then head right back down, find support, then, you know, we have to see where we find support. Do we find support just like, could be there, it'll have to be all the way down there, it could just be there, and then as soon as we can flip that level, that neckline into support, that would be the change that most people are looking for, to come out of these lows with some kind of bottoming structure. And then I think then we're going to start seeing quite impulsive price action, because then people have confidence to buy, because we've potentially put in a low here, some kind of bottom structure, right? And so naturally the area to look for a safe long would be to get back above these lows here, and to get back above some kind of neckline here. I'm not necessarily expecting that just yet, because potentially we still have continuation, another ABC and another, maybe another XY. That's what I'm imagining. And so this will land somewhere, and so will this. Okay, the higher we go up, the better it would be, because then you don't have to come so low. Okay, but in terms of symmetry, somewhere probably by Saturday would be, we have to see where this lands. Obviously the lower the better, would be more symmetrical, but the timing is Saturday, unless we go really low, and then maybe you'll be looking for next week. Yeah, and so I'm not thinking next week, I'm thinking this weekend, and the higher the better. The reason why the higher the better is just means there's more demand for Bitcoin at these prices, and so the price just can't get lower, right? So let's see what happens. Do I have my levels? Yeah, so yeah, you see we've lost the value area low here, so potentially we could go up just to back test it for rejection, but that might just be, we might be able to get back into it. Look at these. Not really interesting. Not really interesting. Single prints. Okay, so we've come to fill this simple single prints here. There's another gap just below us as well. I think a lot of people are feeling bearish, aren't they? And the secret sauce is, when people are feeling bearish, don't short, look for longs, and vice versa. And people are feeling bullish, don't long, look for shorts. And so here, if you're feeling bearish, if you're thinking, what the fuck, the price has gone down, it's at 61k, you're feeling quite bearish, look for longs. Yeah, don't look for shorts. And then the other question is, does that mean the price is going down to zero, or are we going to take out these lows? Potentially not. Yeah, I think, and this is the thing, people have an expectation of what the price can or will or won't do, but it never does really what you expect. It never really does what you expect, and it does what it wants. Yeah, but the reality is that in the lows, the price is looking for support. In the highs, the price is looking for resistance. Just on this move from this bottom to top here, yeah, we're losing the golden pocket on our daily time frame, but actually the golden pocket is never an area where the price can just perfectly react. What we want to see here is to get back in, find support, and then we can go up. And what I like about this candle here is the volume. I like that it's high volume. Okay, so people get this idea that the high volume is bad, but actually in this context, I think at the lows it's potentially good if the volume can be reversed. So in the immediate time frame, you're looking at these 30-minute candles or whatever, you just want to get back into the neckline, get back into the body, fill the gap, and maybe we can continue, maybe. So usually when you get these high volume candles, the price gets reversed just to test, and that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. Would you buy that? It's a good question. If that was the ABC there, then you have your wave 1 to there, and you have some kind of correction here, ABC here. Then if we can actually find support here, and maybe we can have a really nice 5-wave impulse, that would complete this crazy inverse head and shoulders in the high for another wave. For the 5th wave, that would be nice to see. But if you don't get a wave, if you just get another ABC here, then you could actually have a fake out where the price goes up there, and then you just complete your 1 wave and you just whatever. So we have to see how this plays out. Ideally, obviously, if you're in price discovery and you're forming a neckline, you have to hold the neckline for continuation. So we have to see how that plays out. And in my mind, if we do have a breakout in the future and you do break this neckline, then even though people are looking at a slanted neckline, the reality is that it's probably this pivot here and the horizontal. Right. I'm feeling quite bullish, but waiting for the price to settle down before. I think a lot of people are waiting for the price to settle down before they start longing, because they're not sure. They see this making lower highs and they're thinking potentially lower. Let's have a look at ETH BTC. ETH BTC has been quite good. It's been quite resilient. Today we've had a really nice ETH BTC reaction from the lows here. It's quite bullish for altcoins to see that. We haven't had the crazy sell-off, so this is holding, yeah? That neckline's holding. So potentially alts are coming to the floor now. That's kind of what I'm seeing. If I have a look at the total market cap minus Bitcoin. Potentially a swing failure on that previous daily low right now in play. Potentially. That's another swing failure of these lows too. So we're looking at crypto market cap excluding BTC. We're looking at a swing failure of some previous lows potentially. And from this pivot low down to this low, you see, if we can get a swing failure, maybe we can get back into the golden pocket. If we can get back into the golden pocket, maybe we can flip the golden pocket back into support. Yeah. So that's the first step, was the swing failure, which we've just had now. Let's have a look at the USDTD. Yeah, it's looking quite bullish, which is not good for Bitcoin, but let's have a look at the monthly time frame. Weekly. Can't tell. There's nothing really here to say. It doesn't look strong to me, but it's going up. So I can't really comment on that. Same thing as PAX G, BTC. It doesn't look strong, but it's going up. There you go. BTC dominance is going down. What's the DXY looking like? Yeah, DXY is going down too. So the DXY is clearly in this upward wedge. That was a fake out. This was a fake out. We had two fake outs of the low of the wedge, of the high of the wedge. But you can see that I drew these lines and there is a little bit of kind of respect. So we're kind of in this funnel right now with two deviations from the funnel. Maybe this can still turn out bearish. Okay, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe we break this upper trend line and go up. But see, this we don't really know what's going to happen. Okay, so it's hard to tell, but it is a good place for the price to go down. But you see the way this is behaving, you're putting in lower highs. You've got this kind of downward neckline. The price could always find support and break out as well, like that. You have to bear that in mind. It's quite bullish if that happens for BTCD, for USDT, US dollar, I mean, if that happens. But obviously, if we're losing strength here, there's a bit of a swing failure with a failed auction of these highs here. So potentially this is bearish, but confirmation again would be to just lose this lower neckline. I've kind of roughly drawn it, but let me just draw it more precisely. Can you see? There's a little bit of a neckline there. Let me just do this one as well more precisely. Which pivot did I use? Something like that. Something like that. With 2 deviations, and we kind of just rejected from this local high. So you lose the neckline and you use this horizontal level, and then this is going to look really bearish and i.e. bullish for Bitcoin. If that was done, you lose this neckline, you see, then you're going down. Okay, then you'll be aiming for the golden pocket first. Okay, there we go. So that's kind of, it's not looking bullish, and so that probably has a positive impact on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's dominance isn't looking bullish either, and so naturally that has a positive impact on ETH, BTC, which we're seeing a little bit of strength. Does that reflect in ETH? Nope, because the USD values are determined by Bitcoin and how Bitcoin moves. All right, back to Bitcoin, have a look. Is it still dropping? Probably. No, it's still ranging here. Let's have a look at Slurf. Slurf is still pumping, huh? So I'm quite bullish on Slurf now. Huh? I'm pretty bullish. I'm in a long. This is kind of my area to long. This is my area. It's showing a little bit of strength. So I like that. I like to see that. Yeah. Any questions, anyone? So I've kind of been quite sporadic with my streams these last couple of weeks. Apologize for that. Before I was doing stream every morning, and I've been quite sporadic. Summer has come and I've had a lot of things that I needed to catch up on and I haven't done, and so that's all I've been doing. Also, the crypto markets have been pretty rubbish and boring and depressing for a lot of people because we're not going up, and in a Bitcoin bull market, most people make their money from longing, and so naturally you're just waiting for the bullish impulse to begin. But anyway, I'm not fading out of my streams. I find them very helpful for myself. That's why I do them. And then obviously I'm happy to share my view with anyone else who's interested. I probably will go to a more regular format once I get to 1,000 subscribers. So that's kind of my intermediary objective with my streams. And I had a lot of regulars who've quit on me, probably quit crypto actually. And I think that's a common, like, I think it's hard because people are listening, they're feeling bullish or they're feeling bearish, they act, it doesn't go the way that they want. Maybe because they listened to my stream and they got bullish and then it actually wasn't bullish. And so you just have to bear that in mind, that this is all speculative, it's all subjective. And so I'm giving my point of view, but you also have to take into consideration other people's points of view. But ultimately it's down to your own kind of evaluation of the technicals that you have to determine based on your own knowledge and your own experience. Fundamentally, that's more important than anything. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what I say. Like, I'm in a long and I'm bullish. Yeah, I have a stop, I have an invalidation, and I'm willing to risk a certain amount and I'm willing to lose that amount. That's kind of how you trade. and as long as you've got good risk management and you take your profit, then you'll consistently, if you're consistent, you'll end up as a profitable trader. I think a lot of people in the Bitcoin bull market don't have that kind of behavior. They're basically long for the duration. They're hodling, or they just keep on buying, and they keep on pushing their liquidation point, and it's kind of like high stakes gambling. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. That's just as long as someone has the gut to be able to handle the swings in the profit and loss. Yeah, because you suddenly have huge profit, unrealized profit, suddenly you're in huge unrealized losses. And so a lot of people, what they do is they don't take profit, they don't realize profit when they're in huge profit. When it comes to losses, they start realizing their losses. And actually, if you consistently do that, you'll lose. Yeah, you have to get into the habit of realizing gains when you're in profit and trying to cut your position before you end up in losses. Yeah, so if you can't just assume that just because you have an invalidation you're in profit, that you're safe. If you start seeing the price change, the movement change, if you start seeing the volume give you clues of reversal, if you're in heavy profit, you have to start taking profit so that you don't end up with a losing trade. And a lot of people just go long. It's harder to go short until the end of the bull market, and that's fine too. You don't have to go short, but if you do go short, then look for swing failures at the highs of ranges. They're probably the best ones. It's easy to get caught up in a short at the lows of price action. That's literally like now, if you were to short, it'd be the wrong place, wrong time, wrong everything. Yeah, you just couldn't short now. Yeah, so people, and that's how people get trapped. They will short the lows, increasing volume, they're really bearish, and then suddenly what happens is the price goes boom. Yeah, and so you just have to be aware of that. All right, I'm pretty much done. David's here. I think Ali Hash is here. I don't really have anything more to say. I want to do other kinds of analysis on other charts. I might do that. This is interesting, huh? So I didn't look at Dtravel TRVL against Bitcoin, did I? And I should have, because we have our first major sign of strength as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Just looking, I haven't looked at this in 2 days, and what you can see here clearly is the price has come underneath this SR flip, this local pivot. Yeah, this was the all-time low against Bitcoin. You see, we lost it. We had this inverse red candle, inverse hammer, or gravestone doji, whatever you want to call it. Then you have this doji, yeah, with a swing failure of the previous week low. And then to this week, we were having a bullish reaction from the lows. You see that? So we're potentially in some kind of failed auction of the lows. It's like a swing failure, except it's not a swing failure. It's a failed auction. So the price is failing to hold lower prices against Bitcoin over an extended period. And that's confirmed if and when the price gets back above the pivot and back tests it into some kind of support. So we're seeing the price coming back above that pivot. We haven't seen the back test yet, right? But there are potential signs of reversal here, bottoming out here against Bitcoin. Yeah, so price right now is above the all-time high against Bitcoin, TRVL against Bitcoin. And if you do see a little bit of a black backflip or a little bit of support here, then that could be a really amazing entry, because you're waiting for the price to go under the previous low, then you're waiting for the price to come back above the previous low and to find support at the previous low. That's deviation of the range, or that's deviation. You not really fussed about that. The entry is back test to go up, Yeah, that's the entry. So just bear that in mind. If anyone is like still interested in TRVL, this might be a good, it might be a good place. So you could potentially start scaling in and seeing how it goes potentially. Let me have a look at the volume here as well, which I haven't looked at. No changes. I don't think, did I have the volume here? Oh, I didn't mark it out. Right. So can't really tell if there's any changes or not, so I haven't marked it out. So the other thing to bear in mind, so just bear this in mind as well. So while I'm saying that swing failure is potentially a sign of strength, we're also underneath the value area low. That hasn't happened in a while. Let me just mark that down so I have that as a record. Value area low, you've got the point of control is at this SR flip. So that's going to be quite an important level to reclaim. And then you've got your value area high up there. Right. And so getting back above that SR flip, back testing it would be a good develop, like a bullish development, but obviously you just want to get back into the value area low too. Yeah, you don't want to just linger here. What you want to do is you want to get back in. You want to get back into the value. If people are like waiting for safety, get back into the value area low. That will be a good place. Deviation from the range back in the value area, that's a sign of strength. I think we're potentially at the first bullish development would be to get back above this low. As long as you hold it as support, then we're probably heading higher. And so that I'd like to see how that plays out. Right. So that's quite an interesting development. Let's see how that plays out. I think the momentum's still pretty bearish. Yeah, it's still pretty bearish. So I'm not expecting this to just suddenly go up. But you know, if it does go up to that and then comes back down, and then this momentum could actually start to flatten out. Yeah. So we have to see how that plays out. And obviously nothing is better than changing the momentum than impulsive moves. If we suddenly get like crazy impulsive move, then that will move, the momentum will quickly shift. So it's something to bear in mind if that happens. That's TRVL BTC. Getting a little bit pulled back on BTC now. See that? Getting a little bit of a sell-off. Quite a liquid, it's quite a liquid at these price ranges. It's quite a high volume sell there. Look at that. Pretty high volume. At $2.1 million market sell last minute. Let's have a look at the order flow to see if that's if there's any kind of clues there. That was a long closing, so not very bearish, that down move. Yeah, it's very different to seeing a long closing than a short opening. I'm not seeing any divergences here yet. I'm not seeing any divergences in this local price action. We have to see how this plays out. It's looking like a flag again, isn't it? So it's not looking crazy bullish. Is it a flag or is it some kind of... What if it was? We've lost it, haven't we? Unless it's this lower, it's this other pivot here. Like that one. Could it be a triangle here, like some kind of pennant? See that? Be quite bullish to hold here, to be honest with you. Golden pocket, hold the golden pocket, hold the bottom of this line, and get back into that if we can get back above in this local price action, we get back above that local golden pocket, then that'll be potentially a place for the price to reverse. So at the moment we're slightly underneath it. It's getting a little bit of a reaction. So potentially this could be a good place for the price to reverse, to go back up to this local range. Maybe B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E. This is A, B, C, D, E. Get a little bit of selling here. All right. I think that's it really. I'm not getting a little bit of a bearish reaction on Slurf as well now. Oh gosh, I lost all my gains. Yeah, I think Bitcoin needs to sort itself out. It's obviously not showing crazy strength right now. We have to see how that plays out. The support that Bitcoin's into is a higher time frame support. Look, we just have a little bit of a Keck. What's Keck? Keck? What's Keck? That meme with the Robin Hood guy in the car. I'm so done with memes, honestly. I think I'm all memed out. Yeah. The biggest problem with memes is the community, is the people. They're a bunch of idiots. Like honestly, they're all a bunch of idiots. And it's just the reality of memes. Yeah. Look at this guy, Meme Chan. He's a fucking idiot, really. Look at the way he talks. I just think he's an idiot. And I see that a lot. I see that with a lot of people, memes. I see the conversations and I see the way they chat and I see the way they say, and I see they're not, and I just think these people are idiots. They wouldn't be my mates. They wouldn't be my friends. I wouldn't want to drink with these people. Yeah. And I think that reflects in the way memes move. It just reflects, it doesn't really matter. I think there's a lot of lying. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of deceitfulness. I think there's a lot of ulterior motives, and I think there's no safety in memes. You can get rich, but you can lose all your money. Yeah. And so I think Slurf has a lot of potential just because of its initial launch narrative. I think a lot of memes have potential in the moment, in meme season. Yeah. In meme season, sure, in meme season, go for memes. Yeah. But you have to be in and out, take your profit, move on, and don't get too greedy just because you're aiming for 10,000% increase in value. But ultimately, nothing that I see in memes actually comes close to a real world application. Nothing like this. Literally nothing. I don't care how much volume or liquidity or interest these memes have. Yeah. I just think that you can't be a real world application which is just organically growing and actually attracts real world value into the token. I don't see that with memes. I just think it's all hype. This doesn't mean you can't make money. Like I said, I'm in the long on Slurf, so I'm happy to try to make money. But I think the biggest problem are the people behind these memes. I don't even know who they are. I don't know if they're successful. I don't know if they have a track record. I don't know if they're mature or if they're business mature or emotionally mature. I have no idea. And when I listen to when I listen to their conversations, and when I listen to their messages, I don't get that. I don't get good vibes. Honestly, all of them, really, all of them. I don't get good vibes. Yeah. So I think Slurf has the biggest potential of all the memes, the newest memes out there. Slurf has the biggest potential, but fundamentally, it's also down to the people. If the people aren't good enough, then the community will bail on them. You know, that's what will happen. That's all. That's what's going to happen. I think Slurf has potential. Slurf needs partnerships, as many partnerships as possible, and you know, you have to have a bullish future. If you can't do it with partnerships, you have to do it alone. You have to do it on yourself. I mean, they're relying on MemeChan to do some kind of pump fund meme board using Slurf. Why doesn't Slurf just do it themselves? Why do they need MemeChan? That's the question. Like, that would even be more bullish, wouldn't it? If Slurf just decided to do it themselves. Fuck MemeChan. And so that's kind of what I want to see. Look, Bitcoin just had a little bit bullish reaction here. Slurf is doing the opposite. A little bit of divergence here again. One is stronger than the other. It looks like Bitcoin's stronger at the moment. A little bit of a fake out of this triangle bottom. Back over the golden pocket. I'm happy to continue doing Slurf because I do enjoy trading it. But I think when it comes to the whole meme coin narrative, I think potentially in this bull market you could have it is possible to have a meme narrative, yeah, like just like we had NFTs last market. I think you could see a future where the future narrative, it could be like anyone could have a meme coin. Like I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking I could have my own meme coin, couldn't I? I could just launch it on Solana. And maybe in the future we might have a future where every single human will want a meme, their own meme. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we're creating that kind of future. There's no value to it except the community that supports the meme, and effectively it could just be individuals and their own networks. Yeah, and you could get into a situation where people decide to store their value in their own memes. Very highly speculative. And then they get their networks. I don't know. I'm just making it up. All right, so we're getting a little bit of bullish reaction here on Bitcoin. Why is that? Don't know. Let's have a look at the order flow. What is that bullish reaction? What is that bullishness? Oh, look at that liquidation bubble. You see that? As soon as you get a liquidation bubble, you get market buying. See that? Market buying, market buying, market buying. See that? So we had a bit of it was quite a bullish drop because it was a long closing. It wasn't shorts opening, and then you had the liquidation bubble here. So we're getting a little bit of bullish reaction. Ali Hash is saying that at the end of the day, 2017 cycle ICOs, 2020 NFTs and DeFi, 2024 memes and AI. Most are down 99%. I'm on the same page as you when it comes to Slurf. Honestly, I am. And this is a really good place to buy. This is potentially a bullish bat harmonic in play. This is what you want to see. So chart wise, while people are like really bearish because we've lost this major pivot here, and we've had this massive down move, and the momentum's to the downside, I'm buying, I'm long, I'm value area low, some previous levels, bullish harmonic, let's go, let's long. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that this can't go down like that. I'm very aware of that, and fundamentally it has everything to do with confidence. So this guy, he needs to inject confidence into the community. People need to believe in him and his vision and his future. So we have to see how this plays out, you know. We have to see how this plays out. And just this doesn't give me confidence because they reached out to me, Slurf Capital, and you know, they asked me to do something on this meme coin that they created for themselves, which was Cuff, but they didn't defend the price, and the price dropped. I know that's normal, you know, the market as well. It's always a gamble, and I said it was a gamble, but still, it doesn't give you confidence. Doesn't give you confidence. Yeah. So when you're talking about confidence, this is part of it. Seeing how they behave when, you know, this is their token, right? Slurf Capital is like their prime token, and they're like not prime but spotlight token, right? And it's basically lost all its value. Basically, like it's come down from where it was, down 87%. That's not good. That's not what you want to see. Now, I'm still not bearish on this just yet. I think for the price to come back down to here, the golden pocket, now we have to see. Now the price has to get back up. Yeah, and if the price gets back up, then that's normal behavior. Normal behavior. Yeah, but the price, the market can do only so many things in this context. You could have had an equal triangle for a breakout to the upside. In fact, what happens, you had this kind of equal triangle for a breakout to the downside. But in the context of the markets, this could have just been some kind of one-to-one move, some kind of corrective move after launch. Yeah, but here is important. Here the price needs to get back above the golden pocket, find support, and move up. And it doesn't give you confidence when you've got these people. They're not private investment group aiding the growth and acceleration of meme coin communities. They give you confidence if they're not supporting their tokens, the tokens that they're interested in. Yeah, and so this is, I'm gauging this. I'm not just looking at Slurf, I'm looking at everything. You have to have confidence. They have to, is like if this is how if they're not willing to, like I'm not seeing the volume coming in, you see, and you expect these people, Slurf Capital, to be very wealthy, and this is only a small market cap token now, isn't it? It's like $250 million. It wouldn't be hard for them to start building that, and that gives you, it's a test now, and the question is whether they can pass the test or not. Yeah, so people will test them. They will test them because they will see how they behave and how they react to certain events. And so right now, I'm not, honestly, I think Slurf Capital have a lot. They have to prove themselves, and Slurf have to prove themselves. Honestly, that's my honest opinion. Yeah, I'm long, but I'm not impressed. Yeah, and I'm basing it on my experience with, obviously, with Dtravel and of other things that I've seen. A bunch of idiots, really. That's how I feel. A bunch of idiots who got rich by gambling on meme coins, and now they're in the driving seat of this kind of sector, and they're not necessarily competent or capable. That's how I see it at the moment. Right? So it's a little bit of a gamble. What's interesting is that Mt. Gox is to repay creditors with $9 billion worth in Bitcoin. I think this is quite bullish. Yeah, I don't think this is bearish. I think this is bullish. You might think to yourself that the Bitcoin is going to be sold, but probably not. Probably not. And also it does give confidence to the industry when you see this kind of large amounts of value to be refunded or to be redistributed back to the people who used to own their crypto, used to own Bitcoin with this exchange. Yeah, so a lot of people are in for a big payday, and I think that's quite bullish actually. You know, I don't think that's bearish at all. Let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin's having a little bit of a bullish reaction here. Has it reflected into Slurf? Somewhat, a little bit, like a down and up. So I'm feeling quite bullish on the price action. Right, I'm feeling quite bullish. I don't think it's a good day to short. Right, at the moment it's looking quite bouncy and it's looking quite resilient, and it looks like it might be a good day to buy dips. It might be. So let's see how that plays out. What we want to see here now on the BTC is let's reclaim these higher levels, and let's see if we can push up. Right, let's see if we can reverse this down move, and then let's see what happens. All right, what's the daily candle looking like? It's pretty miserable daily candle. Daily hasn't finished yet, so I'll be interested to see how this closes as well, because you have some interesting levels here. So let me just pull it up. Let's have a look. Got a lot of things going. It's a bit messy. So yeah, you've got this daily level. Look, daily level, weekly level, monthly level. You've got 3 big levels here. This is massive support, honestly. So the initial reaction is what you want to see, which we're seeing. And then you want to see the market see the reaction and then start buying. So I think we're seeing a good reaction here off the monthly level. If we can get back above this daily and weekly, you could probably long that. It's probably if we can get back above this daily, weekly level, flip it into support. I think the weekly level is going to be the first area of interest, and then we can head up, hopefully. That's kind of what I'm looking for, right? And now it's starting to look a little bit like a higher lows, maybe a little bit of a head and shoulders inverse. Let's see if we can continue this pattern and fill the gap all the way up to these small candles here, to this area here. All right, that's my daily update. I hope that helps, and if it doesn't, then I apologize, but there's nothing I can do. You probably need to go somewhere else. Yeah, I'm feeling quite bullish on this. I haven't messed about my trades. I usually do mess about my trades and then mess up, but right now all my trades are in profit right now. So I want to see how that... I don't really see it as a bear flag, David, because we're right at the lows. We're into major support. Why would there be a bear flag here? It's a bit of a deceptive pattern forming here if it's a bear flag. Because look, we're right into support. We've had a bullish reaction off this monthly level. Increase in volume, that's what you want to see. And now the price is trying to reclaim. It's gone down into this wick. It's come down halfway or more, which is kind of what you expect. Found support, and now the price is having a bullish reaction. Let's get back above the daily, weekly, and let's go up and fill the rest of the gap. And then let's see what happens, okay? If the price gets back up there, people are going to be seeing this reaction here, and they're going to start longing, yeah? Because that's what people are waiting for. They're waiting for the reaction. This is a bullish reaction, what we're experiencing right now. Look at that candle into the monthly levels. That's perfect respect, isn't it? That respect. That gives you confidence, doesn't it? Gives you confidence that you can put your invalidation there because you're getting a really good reaction. And the key is the volume in that candle. You see the increasing volume into that monthly level? So there's enough volume to push it down, but it didn't go down, it was held. So I'm feeling quite bullish on this price action right now. And hence I'm in a long because because of what I'm seeing, yeah. And then when you're seeing Slurf behave strongly against Bitcoin, and then when you're seeing Slurf get back into the value area low, and look, it's back tested it and it's been front run. That's really bullish. That's really bullish. Yeah, So I'm getting lots of bullish vibes on the price action right now, right? And I'll probably be looking to long more, probably. Yeah, BTC is worrying, but just bear in mind, David, that we're into major levels of support. Major, monthly, daily, weekly. We're at the same place. Yeah. You got downward momentum. That obviously has to be turned. Yeah, so we may kind of do this, but then if we can turn it, then we could see a nice rally. And then the other thing that I just want to be careful of, and this is what I was saying about Slurf, specifically Slurf, we are into a bullish bat harmonic, which is this. It's a really higher time frame harmonic, so there has a lot of this has a lot of potential to go up because it's such a higher time frame. Look, this harmonic's been in place since the 12th of April, so if this plays out, it could be quite impressive. If we can't complete a bullish harmonic, if we can't go up for whatever reason, we find resistance of lower levels, then I'll be looking for a butterfly by the weekend. So this is the question. The question is, is our pivot in now for up? Oh fuck, this doesn't work. It's back. Sometimes the undo bugs out. Or oh shit. Oh my god. I don't know why TradingView does that. It just for no reason it bugs out. Literally no reason. I have to refresh it. This is a pain. This is so painful. And it's taking me back to whatever. Stupid. Just do this again. If we can't make a bullish, like I think looking at today's candle, I wouldn't mind if I saw the whole candle filled. You know, I want to see some kind of bullish candle today. I don't want to just see a little weak kind of reaction. I want to see a strong reaction. But for whatever reason, if we can't impulse out of this area or form a bottom here, then we could be looking for lower. And instead of a bat, you'll be looking at a butterfly. Yeah, so I'm just keeping that idea in play because I know it's possible. And so potentially we hit this pivot slightly early on the 618. And then if we do decide to come back down, then I'm thinking by the weekend, by Saturday, and I'll be looking for much lower. And actually I'll be looking for this level here, which I've marked out, which is 16 and 16.5 cents. Yeah, knowing full well that if we go up and reject and we come right back down, then we could have you could just swing failure this low here, and that will be perfectly acceptable too. So no one really knows where this is going to come in. But if we do lose that pivot and we do get a bit of a sell-off, then I'm thinking that 16 and 16.5 cents is going to be a good place to long to complete a different kind of harmonic. It's a butterfly. I don't like this harmonic in the lows. I prefer it in the highs because there's a bullish harmonic and the momentum at the moment is clearly to the downside. And so again, it's the same case in this harmonic. You take wherever you put in the pit. If we form a butterfly and we have a rejection, you put in a retracement level, and then you're aiming for the 50% mark, 50%. So in this context, you're going from 16 all the way up to 28. Yeah, so the difference between going lower is coming back up to 28, or if we hold support now and we're in the bat, then my target is going to be about 32. Yeah, somewhere between 32 and 33. And so if we hold support now, we're not in a butterfly, we're in a bat. And if we are in a bat, I'll be aiming for 32. Am I aiming for 32? Nope, I'm not. My bad. What am I aiming for? 50%. Yeah. 32. Yeah. That daily level. And all the way up to there. and then probably back down again, probably back down for one more test, unless that high volume node, you see there's a high volume node there, unless we can flip that high volume node into support. And actually I would like to see if that could happen, because if we go up and reject here, which is what I'm expecting potentially, and then come back and find support of that high volume node with a little bit of extra volume, you could potentially flip the range point of control from that high level there to this high volume node. If that was to happen, then this would be extremely bullish, extremely bullish. Yeah, so let me just contemplate extreme bullishness in the context here, just so you understand what I'm saying. Let me just delete these and get rid of that. Effectively, you've got a bat harmonic, which I think has the potential to become a butterfly down to here, but I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm thinking up. Going up, I'll be expecting the price to go up, if this is the low, to go up to this daily level, which will be the 50% mark, roughly where the 12-hour 50 moving average is right now. So that would be a natural target for this price action, and then you'll be looking to potentially short that too, because it's at the monthly level too. So you've got quite a strong confluence here for a reaction. Okay, if for some reason we go up and we hold the high volume node as support, so effectively I'll be saying I'm hoping that we go up, reject, and now if we find support here on this high volume node and put in enough volume here, yeah, so that we can flip this range point of control, which is in this red line here, flip it down to this high volume node here. Yeah, so you can only do that with volume. So if the volume comes in and the range point of control flips to the low, and the price still happens to be consolidating above the high volume node, which has now become the point of control, then that would be extremely bullish. And in that context, I would probably be looking for continuation. Even though we've had a rejection, I'd probably be looking for continuation. I'm not expecting that. I'm just saying if that was to happen, that would be extremely bullish. But obviously what I'll be thinking about now is for the price to somehow go up, hit our 32 cents price range, and then come all the way back down. Maybe go up, maybe come back down. I'd like to see some kind of more bottom and formation here first. You know, I'm not expecting a V-shaped recovery. If Ali Hash is right, and you do, for some reasons that I can't explain, Slurf gets listed on Binance and OKX like tomorrow, sure, you could get some kind of crazy bullish impulse. You can get some kind of crazy bullishness. That would be completely independent of the charts. It will be just something else. Yeah. It's a good place to buy, but where you land will be dependent on something outside of the charts. Yeah, because naturally you've got so many resistance levels that would be broken with that kind of price, with that kind of injection of volume that came from Binance, the Binance listing. So just bear that in mind, right? So it's always good if you are longing here, even if you take profit, just leave a little bit of a runner just in case. Yeah, it's a really good place to long here. Really good place. Really good place. All right, guys. I think that's it for my stream. A lot of people have asked me about some other things. Honestly, I'm going to kind of fade out on certain things. Like some people have been asking me about Quantex. Yeah, look, this is my trade plan. Yeah, this is my harmonic, A, B, C, on time. Look at that bullish reaction. Yeah, I did this Quantex analysis. When did I do this? I don't get, it's really weird because I'm not getting any credit or praise for these, for my trading, for my trade ideas. Like literally no one's like coming back to me and say thank you, you did well, or I appreciated that. Look at this correction. Is it over yet? Where is it? Quantex, is it over yet? Look at this. Yeah, did a 24-minute, again I don't like it, did a 24-minute video on Quantex. Yeah, I explain, look at this. We're here in the beginning of June, and I'm explaining to people, look, I'm explaining to people that we're probably going down like this. And look what happens. Yeah, it does what I said. It did what, because I was just counting the waves, and I was just mapping out this move, and I was calculating, literally calculating this WXY, and coming to the conclusion that by this pivot, this 1-to-1 on fib time, will come into this high volume node and will complete the correction. That's literally what I did. I did that. Look at that. It's going to come in here. I calculated. And it looks really weird. Like when you're looking at the chart, yeah, look how weird that looks. It looks really weird. Look, people, I think people think I'm crazy, because look what I'm saying, where I'm saying the price could go to complete this pattern, to come down to here. Look, I even create a trade plan. I even say the 19th, was that the 19th of June? That's your trade plan, high volume nodes. You've got a 618 extension to complete this correction ABC down to there, right? And look what happens. Yeah, look at what day you get the bullish reaction, the 19th of June, right? I don't think people give me enough credit. Okay, so I think I might be done doing these coins for people, because I'm not getting any kind of, you know, you'd expect people to have watched this video and they go, Amir, you were right, well done. And I'm not getting that. Instead, I'm getting people, can I have another update, please? Can I have another update, please? It's not acceptable, really. And so I'm going to fade out on these tokens, because people are taking my, I don't know. I mean, I'm getting no credit. All right. It was a good call, wasn't it, Odenborn? Look at that. I mean, I couldn't have predicted this better. Yeah. And I literally had no feedback from anyone who's involved in Quantex to say, wow, that was pretty amazing what you did there. I think it was pretty amazing, wasn't it? I just made that shit up. And look at it. So, yeah. So anyway, that's my Quantex update. No more Quantex updates. Okay. But because this is the last Quantex update that I'm going to do. Yeah, this is literally the last one. I'm not going to do any more, because I'm not getting any praise or any feedback or anything back from the Quantex community. They don't deserve me, to be honest with you. That's what I feel. That's how I feel right now. Unless that changes, this is my last Quantex update. But potentially correction is over. Potentially correction is over. Okay. I can't predict the future. But yeah, look. You had a crystal ball. You posted the videos before the moves as well as proof. I know. Look, I haven't looked at this chart since we were up here, and I was saying it's going to go down ABC, another ABC, basically. That's how amazing Elliott waves are, but you have to apply them correctly, and you have to do it based on experience. And look, see, I said 19th of November. What did I say? Can't remember. If that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Go through my reasoning. The main one is the fib time, actually. Fib time is really important. I don't think people know how to use fib time. And so when I'm using fib time and I'm kind of coming up with timings, people are a little bit surprised, because they're like, how does this person predict the time? Let's see. The time base is weird. I've done it from the top to the W to the X to the Y. I've never done it downwards like that before. Usually it goes back up, but it shouldn't really matter, should it? Which kind of gives a 618 here, but then you're in the middle of the gap. But it's at this kind of intersection. Let me just have a look at the overall volume profile as well. Let's have a look at my analysis. I can't remember. Ooh, that's interesting. Let me take the volume profile after this High volume
Look at that high
node.
volume node there.
See that?
See that? You've got the point of control lower down here. That's like the best entry right now, I think. If it's on time, high volume node.
If it's on time. See what I said?
Fake out this trend line.
Fake
Into
out
the
the trend line,
618.
into the
Of this
618.
trend-based extension. Into the high volume node, just underneath this trend line. Could be front run. On time, which is sometime 19th and 20th of June.
Perfect. And look at what happens. 19th of June. See that? So I really feel that people don't deserve my analysis sometimes. Yeah. Because I've had no feedback from that. And I basically call that. I'm not trading Quanex, but it's basically done what I said. Right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm using technical techniques based on the way the price moves, based on liquidity levels, based on corrective moves and impulsive moves to preempt or predict the place where the price could come and find support and resistance. Okay. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And the times that it works can be extremely profitable if you use correct risk management. Yeah, so risk management is key, right? In this kind of price action, look at that. Swing failure of this previous low on time, high volume nodes, everything. And look, it faked out. I said it was going to fake out this trend line. It came back above, little back test. And it looks like the low is in on Quanex. It looks like it. Right. Anyway, this is the last Quanex update I do. I think if people want updates, they're just gonna have to come onto my live stream, because I'm not gonna just do it because people want updates. If you want an update, yeah, at least come back and say thank you. I'm not gonna bother otherwise. All right. Good luck with Quanex. You can still buy now, like just because you've missed the entry. You just have to wait for a pullback. All right. Thank you, Audible. Oh, you've only been on live streams. I don't always cut. That's the thing. So if you come on the live stream, you get everything uncut. But then sometimes I'll do a little section on something or some token within the live stream, and I'll just cut it and I'll just publish it separately. Yeah. And then I'll just chuck it onto my playlist. I'm not always right. Look at this guy. He writes, bro, new update, EGC. What the fuck? No, I'm not going to do an update. I've stopped. I'm going to stop doing updates on random coins. I'm just going to focus now a little bit on the ones that I'm interested in, and see what happens. Maybe I'll change my opinion. Maybe I'll get bored. I don't know. All right. All right. Unless anyone has anything for me, I'm going to head out. And I'll see you tomorrow, probably. Let's have a look at Slurf again. See if there's any movement. It's looking quite bullish, huh? Looking really bullish. Look at that bullish reaction. All right, guys. Love you, leave you. Thanks for joining me. And there's a few people here, so appreciate that. Thanks, Ali Hash, Odin Bale, David Fazaldin, and then anyone else who's watching. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. Right, take care.